everyone. Welcome to Entertainment Weekly's What to Watch, the show where EW staff help you solve your viewing dilemmas. I'm your host, Gerrad Hall, and with me today, putting the rock in Rocktober, are writers Nick Romano, Rosy Cordero, and Chancellor Agard. Hey, everyone. So nice to see you. How's it going?
Good.
It's going. Hey, guys, in case you haven't noticed all of the skeletons out on the street, instead of in your closet where they belong, we are rapidly approaching Halloween season, which for TV means plenty of spooky shows and movies to keep you up all night instead of what usually keeps you up, reality. Anyway, Netflix is no stranger to the scares with its new limited series, The Haunting of Bly Manor, set to premiere this weekend. And yes, if that title sounds familiar, it's brought to you by Mike Flanagan and the creative team behind 2018's The Haunting of Hill House. But don't call it a sequel. The show promises a brand new cast in a brand new haunt. Nick, will Bly be the manor of the house, or will it die on that haunted hill?
Oh my God, what a pun to start this off. I love it.
I'm hating this already.
You're welcome, Chance.
I mean, I think that's an interesting question. It's going to be really interesting to see how an audience takes on to this new show. I mean, it's definitely sort of in the anthology format. And obviously there's a lot of love for Hill House out there, but this is very much a different story and its own kind of vibe and tone. If season one, if that was sort of about, familial loss and all the ways grief has ripple effects throughout a family over time, this is really about love, but it's definitely not like a Valentine's Day kind of Hallmark movie, The way Mike Flanagan described it to me was sort of, it's a gothic romance with a capital R. It's much darker, it's much more weighted. And as the characters say in the first few episodes, it's hard to sometimes differentiate a love story from a ghost story, and if you think about that in all the ways that Mike Flanagan's mind works, then I'm sure you can kind of anticipate some of the horrors that are awaiting there.
Hill House had a lot of hidden ghosts and Easter eggs that fans looked for online. Is Bly Manor going to do the same?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. I would say even more. I would say definitely scrutinize the backgrounds of scenes, even, spots that are intentionally blurry, because oftentimes you're just going to find someone standing in a corner for no reason other than they're dead. And I don't even know if I can really talk about this, a certain aspect of this season. I don't want Netflix to, revoke all of my access.
Haunt you? Yeah.
Yeah. But all I'll say is
ghosting. It's ghosting, isn't it? Someone's getting ghosted.
Nice.
And that would be me, low-hanging fruit on the totem pole, yeah.
In terms of the Haunting series that we're talking about here, do you think each season rather will truly stand alone, or might we go the way of American Horror Story and there is some kind of thread, a through line that will connect all of them at some point?
Right now, it feels very much like completely separate stories from season to season. I was talking with Mike a couple of weeks ago, and he was saying that just kind of at the end of season one, he doesn't know what's going to happen next for a potential season 3. But one thing he did say is that he was very much into the idea of continuing his exploration about what a ghost exactly is.
All right, so moving on. This year has seen a stellar number of series either set in or involving outer space. But if you're looking to add another one to your queue, well, you got The Right Stuff, baby. And I'm not referring to the hit 1988 New Kids on the Block single. I should have owned that more, right, you guys?
Listen, in all fairness, when I first heard about The Right Stuff, I thought it was going to be a New Kids on the Block biopic.
Which I'm totally down for as well. But this one is a Disney Plus series premiering this weekend. It's based on Tom Wolfe's book of the same name. The show follows America's obsession with the original Mercury 7 astronauts in the 1960s. All right, Rosie, will this series have a failure to launch, or does it have the ability to track audiences?
We're going to go with the because This is the story that we need right now. It's an American story about our first astronauts, and it actually also really gets into the dirty drama. Think Mad Men, women, alcohol, you have it all. So this is the series you want to watch.
On Disney Plus?
on Disney Plus.
There are a lot of recognizable faces in this cast, but there isn't per se a huge A-list star name attached. Do you think that was a conscious effort? Because Leonardo DiCaprio is a producer, so I feel like they could have gotten someone super big if they wanted.
Burn on Suits star Patrick J. Adams.
I know. I was waiting for that chance. I was waiting for that.
I'm with Chance on that, but I think that it's intentional, and I think that it mirrors very much where we first meet our astronauts, where they are already big shots in they're pilots in their own right, respected, and I think that it mirrors that they're at a certain part of their career and they are ready to launch to the next level. So I think that it was a smart thing to do to go in that direction. And I mean, Patrick J. Adams, Jake McDormand, these guys, they were fans of the space program before, and they put so much effort and so much work and care into bringing the characters of John Glenn and Alan Shepard to life. Would somebody at Leonardo DiCaprio's level have done the same? Maybe not. So I think it was a smart idea. But speaking of Leonardo DiCaprio, I spoke to executive producer Mark Lafferty because I said, hey, catch me if you can. Could we see Leo maybe pop up as a little Easter egg? And he says, you know what? That's a great idea. So if we get a season 2, maybe we can do that. And also Barbara Eden, I asked about I Dream of Jeannie, and he says, oh my God, that would be a dream come true. So we need everybody to watch so that we can make these happen in season 2.
All right, you guys, we need to take a quick break, but stay tuned. We'll be all systems go in T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7. 2, 1. Welcome back to What to Watch. Also coming back from a longer break is beloved series Supernatural. The show was in the middle of filming its final season when they had to stop due to the coronavirus. It was almost like God didn't want the Winchester brothers to finish their story, which coincidentally just so happens to be the plotline of the final 7 episodes. The show returned Thursday night, which means there are just 6 episodes left now of this hit series. So Chance, do you think the show will wrap up in a way that will satisfy longtime fans?
I think, as sort of my colleague, our coworker Sam pointed out in her piece in the magazine, I think given how big and and sort of opinionated this fandom is, you can't guarantee to please everyone with this finale. But I think just based on what they've all said and what Sam has said about some of reporting that they'll come out later on, I think at least the people making it are very happy with the finale and the direction the show goes in. And I think the show has been on long enough. It's been great. It's been not so great. It's been fine. I do think there's a good chance that it can come to some sort of satisfying conclusion, especially given the fact that they knew going into the season that this would be the last one.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. All right. Because of the halt in the productions, fans are essentially getting kind of a second final season of the show. But that said, do you really think season 15 will be the last time we see Sam and Dean?
No, and nor do the actors. I think both Jensen and Gerrad have been pretty open about the fact that come 5-10 years down the line, if they get a call saying, "Hey, let's do a Supernatural 6-episode limited run," they'd both be game. Jensen said it at TCA last year, promoting the final season when it was premiering a year ago, and then he just repeated that again when he was on Michael Rosenbaum's podcast a few weeks ago. So I think the two guys, and that's who you need to do the show, are very open to returning at some point.
So it's more like a farewell for now.
Yes.
Hopefully we'll see them in the future. This show has had obviously, as we said, 15 seasons. That is a really long and successful run. But losing this show is going to leave a pretty big hole in the CW's lineup. This show premiered back when it was still the WB back in 2005. So what is the network going to do?
I think that's the question. I think it's this year. The past few years have seen the CW lose a lot of shows that have helped brand it. Jane the Virgin and Crazy Ex-Girlfriend last year, Arrow this year, next year Supergirl. So I think it'll be interesting to see what shows end up getting greenlit come January, when hopefully they start developing new things. I think we already know they're working on a Powerpuff Girl reboot, remix, whatever you want to call it. They have Greg Berlanti's Kung Fu series 2 coming out, I believe, in 2021. So it's it seems like they're still swerving into that sort of genre stuff that's helped brand them for the past several years. But it'll be interesting to see whether or not they're able to find another sort of hit or just sort of mainstay like Supernatural.
And fans of the guys, I mean, they shouldn't worry because Jensen is going to be on season 3 of The Boys.
Yeah, it's funny. Like I think the whole thing with the show ending was like, oh, these guys are going to take a break. But like, I mean, like Gerrad, especially like when like had the coronavirus not happen, like he was supposed to go from rapping on the street finale Supernatural to then jumping right into filming the pilot for Walker, Texas Ranger. So these two guys aren't taking a break at all, which will be nice.
All you fans out there should keep checking out EW.com in the coming weeks as we are doing our Supernatural send-off. We have a lot of good stuff coming your way, and that is it for our show, guys. Thanks to my guests Nick Romano, Rosy Cordero, and Chancellor Agard. You've all been very supernatural. Did you like that? To me. See you next week on What to Watch.